Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for pausing to ponder with us tonight. I am Kathy.
And I'm John.
Today we're going to talk about pulling back the veil. And I have a story, a very relevant story to share with you first.
This is going to be a great lesson. We might say that a lot, and we probably should because we're the ones creating it. But actually, there was a lot of research that we've done into this. And guys, if you can grasp onto this concept, this philosophy, this mindset that we're going to talk about tonight, it's going to change you. It really is. It's changed us. And we're going to challenge you to think a little bit differently tonight, which is the purpose of Pause to Ponder. Thank you for subscribing to this page. Thank you for tuning in. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing, and also comment on some of the things that we're going to question going down the road. But this is going to be some good stuff. So strap in, buckle up, hang on.
Okay, so you all may know that I'm an upper level leader with the Pampered Chef. So it's 18 years, I think. 18 years I've been with the Pampered Chef, and I am now a senior director. None of that matters, but this does matter. Last month, the month of April 2020, the month of pandemic, Pampered Chef had their best April in 18 years. This is our 40th year anniversary, and April usually isn't that strong of a month. This was by far, so much so that we are hiring at the distribution center like crazy. We have 2 shifts going 6 days a week. There's so much happening within the world of Pampered Chef. There were 380 promotions. 3 of them were in my organization. I was one of them, so it's so exciting, okay? So here's what's even more exciting. Up until April 30th, the top sales record for a month was $50,000 in sales. And that record was, a few years old. The person who had that record has been a top seller for a long time. And she had over $50,000 one month. Well, last month, 2 people broke that record. One person got $55,000 in sales. The other got $60,000. That's what I did all last year. And they did it in 1 month. And they're our top 2 leaders of the whole company. And they are rock stars, okay? So, and one lives in, Louisiana. Another lives in Maryland, right? So I don't really know them. I do know one of them quite well. We promoted a director at the same time. So I do have a connection with her. But you know what? It's not my team. It's not my organization. Well, I have a tribe, six different leaders across the U.S. We meet every Thursday for a mastermind book club. And one of our tribe members sold $20,000 last month. Okay, now it's coming close to home, right? Now we're driving close to home. It was so interesting because one of the other book club members says, I never really considered that possible. You know what? Next month I'm going for $10,000. And so far as of today, the 17th of May, she's at $9,100. Wow, we have powerful brains, let me just tell you.
So what is the realistic perspective of, so those 2 people broke the sales for last month, for April, you said?
For April.
For April.
Yep. What are the chances? Forever. That's the top month ever.
What are the chances of it being broken again in the month of May?
Oh, game on.
So this isn't a competition thing per se, although there is a lot of competition going on, but it's a mindset thing. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today is once a veil is torn down. So you think about a veil, maybe a curtain. Right back here is we have our curtain closed. And the outside, that's a patio window that goes outside onto our deck and looks into our pool. It's out there right now, but you can't see it. Only when we pull back the veil or the curtain can you now begin to see what's out there, but also possibilities, potentials,
creative ideas. Yes, amazing.
And sometimes it takes someone to achieve a certain thing where up to that point it was thought to be I was almost going to say ungettable.
Impossible. Yeah.
Impossible.
I know just with our team, the minimum sales is not even an issue anymore. We have team members that are getting $6,000 sales already this month. It's just, opportunities are endless.
So let's go back into the training and leave Pampered Chef for a moment. You think about the 4-minute mile. Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile. Up to the day that he broke it, doctors, the medical profession thought it was impossible to run a 4-minute mile. In fact, they theorized the pressure and the toll that it's going to take on your body, your heart will explode.
Wow.
But that day he ran the mile in 3 minutes and 57 seconds. He did it.
That sure beats my 13-minute mile.
He broke it, right? But here, watch what happens then. Not long after, another person broke the 4-minute mile. Up to that point, remember, this was impossible to do. But
Biologically,
right.
They were saying this is impossible.
Physically, mentally, that's the thing, is mentally they thought we couldn't do it. Until someone saw that it was done. Roger Bannister did it. Later, I think later that year, it was broken again. And then the next time the 4-minute mile was broken, it was done by 2 people in the same race.
Wow.
So
wouldn't that be a bummer to break the 4-minute mile and not be the winner?
And come in second, right? So that happens, right? You think about, and I'll just give you a couple more examples, and we're going to kind of land the plane here. You think about Edmund Hillary, who was the first person who climbed Mount Everest, and I believe it was 1953. All right? Up to that point, it's never been done.
Now they have traffic jams on Mount Everest.
They're climbing, I think it's over 5,000 people climbed it. I don't know if it was last year or total, but yeah, now people are climbing all the time. But he climbed it in 1953. It wasn't done again until, I want to say 1957, and then 1960s, it became almost an every year occurrence, people climbing it, because they now saw the veil pulled back and the possibilities and the potential in our abilities, right? I just did research right before we started filming tonight on the English Channel. The English Channel being, someone made it across on a bale of straw in the late 1800s, and then the first person tried to do it in like 1911 and failed, but then someone did it, and then the next thing you know, another person did it, to the point now where let's look at where it was then to where we are now. Someone did it, a female did it 4 times. There, back, there, and
all
back.
in one shot?
In one shot.
Oh my.
Without stopping.
Of course.
So now we're doing it 4 consecutive times. Now we're doing 2-hour or 3-hour marathons. 2 to 3 hour marathons. That's 26 miles, folks. Wow. In 2 to 3 hours, we're doing marathons now. Now, not we, they. People are still climbing Everest. The point is that we're trying to make is that your mind is powerful. And if you believe it, you can achieve it.
Have you ever heard, I'll believe it when I see it?
Turn that around.
Biologically, that's not possible. You will see it when you believe it.
And that's true. And I don't want to brush over that because that is so powerful. Think about this out there. If you fight for your limitations,
you'll get them.
You're going to get to keep them. You're going to get to keep them. The world is out there telling you why you can't do things, or you shouldn't do things, or you can't do things. You know what? We're good enough in our brains telling us no. That we just need to try to shut everyone else out there and start concentrating on our self-talk, because that is huge. And guess what? Your heart's listening to your mind's self-talk.
You bet.
And if you fight for your limitations, you'll get to keep it. And I love this quote that says, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, either way, you're right. Thank you for popping the...
I know, right?
Right. But so your mind has so much possibilities, and the only restriction you have, much like the 4-minute mile, climbing Everest, swimming the English Channel, is yourself. And the first step is believing in yourself. Guys, I want to see you become the greatest version of yourself, but it all starts in your mind, in your brain, in your heart of hearts, which is our brains, and the philosophy and the mentality, right?
I got a question for you. Are you the type of person that rips open the veil, or do you follow through when the veil is opened?
Oh, so are you the leader or the first follower?
I'm not the leader. I'm a slow learner. When I'm given opportunities, it's usually the second time I go through the training or the second opportunity that I succeed. So I know I'm not the one to rip open the veil, but I do use their vision. I borrow it for myself once I see that they've done it.
You know, and I think that that's not such a bad thing. And again, let's just take a step back. This is about a 90-minute to a 2-hour class that we
Right.
teach on, and we're trying to do it in 10 minutes. So please forgive us. If you're interested in hearing more for you or your organization, let us know. But it's either way, whether you're the first leader
Yeah.
or the first follower or maybe the fifth follower, kudos to those who still follow through with it. Because if you fail the first time, man, embrace failure. Don't embrace defeat. Defeat means that person doesn't get back up after they might
Right.
not have achieved their goal.
Right.
Get back up and try it again. If it takes you 10,000 times like it did Edison, suspectfully, or
700 times of
whatever they
failed
think.
light bulbs. But when you think of it that way, it is so true. He had to fail because that was how he was figuring out how it can't work.
Think about the
Same thing with
mindset.
us.
Think about the mindset of Edison. He had to endure a fire of his
His
workshop. His lab caught fire and everything. All of his notes burned to the ground. And he was interviewed on, what are you going to do now? Now that all your notes are lost. And you remember the response?
He was like excited.
He's like, what are you talking about? Now I get to start all over. I get to erase all my errors and mistakes, and I get to start over. Who thinks like that?
Right.
Well, an innovator does.
Right.
An optimist.
And that's
Someone
who
who
we
knows
are.
their potential.
We're optimists. We're
Yeah.
innovators. We're creative. We think differently. That's who we are. This
Guys,
is fun.
the world is putting limitations on you, and we're really good at doing it to ourselves. Don't do that. I love what you said about once you believe it, then you'll see it. Believe it in your brain, and it will come to fruition. The veil will be pulled back, and you'll be able to see what's on that other side.
Yeah. Go get it.
You have the power. Do it.
Have a good week.
Thank
See
you,
you next
everyone.
Sunday.
Bye-bye.